Hello, and welcome to this how-to all about how to improve your posture. Having good posture not only allows us to feel and look taller and more connected, it also allows us to maximize our natural strength. When the body is well aligned, we can move with more power and more ease all at the same time. Not only that, but when the body is aligned and organized as it's designed to be, we can reduce lower back and neck pain, decrease compression in the spine, and lessen wear and tear on all the joints in the body. Now, while there's no such thing as a perfect posture, there are ways that we can optimize our alignment so that we can move and feel our best throughout all stages of life. One of the first things that I look at when a student comes to me with an injury is their posture. I'm looking for imbalances and overcompensations. I'm looking at how they're sitting, standing, walking, and moving throughout their day so that I can better understand how their posture is helping or hurting them. Of course, not all injuries stem from poor posture, but all injuries can be helped with better posture. And so today, I'll be guiding you through some simple exercises to address 3 common postural issues that I see often. First, I'll explain how to align the pelvis and the lower back to increase core strength and reduce low back pain, and we'll use the plank as our main exercise. Then I'll lead you through some simple exercises for the middle back to correct forward shoulder or overly kyphotic posture through the mid and upper back. And finally, we'll do some exercises to lengthen the back of the neck and reduce forward head posture. And at the end, we'll put it all together in an exercise that integrates the whole body so that you can feel your full length and strength. In the notes below, I'll include time markers that divide these different sections, and I'll also include links to related how-tos that I've already done so that you have lots of workout material to choose from should you feel so inspired. Now, as we're about to get started, I just want to remind you that I'll be guiding you through all the exercises step by step in detail. And so I ask that you really pay attention to all the cues that I'm giving you so that you can move as safely as possible and target the right muscles. And I'll be showing a few different variations of each exercise so that this workout is accessible to both beginner and advanced movers. And finally, as always, I ask that you please remember to listen to your body as you're moving through the workout, to honor and respect your physical history and needs, and to feel free to modify or discard anything that doesn't feel right for you. And with all of that said, let's get started. All right, so before we get into the workout itself, I want us to investigate where our posture is right now and how we can optimize it. And I'm going to be doing this by showing 2 different common faulty postural types so that we can see where we're at within them. So I invite you to come to standing with me and to try these on. Okay, the first faulty posture that we're going to try on is the sway back posture. And I'm picking this first because it's extremely common for us to have some components of this. Okay, in the sway back posture, the pelvis is forward and the knees are hyperextended back. The upper body is rounded forward and the head is forward. And so if you have some of this posture, you might be feeling some pain in the lower back. And this makes sense because it's compressed here. And also the abdominals are not working at all. They're pushed forward and they're not supporting the lower back. Okay, so how we want to correct this is by relaxing the knees so they're not hyperextending and bring the pelvis back so that it's right on top of the ankles and not forward towards the toes or even past the toes. Okay, and then we lengthen the tailbone down and draw the abdominals up so that the pelvis is aligned vertically. Okay, then through the upper back, we want to widen through the collarbones and lengthen through the rib cage. And with the head, we want to bring the chin in and lengthen through the back of the neck. Okay, so we're not bringing the head into alignment by tipping the chin up or bringing the head back this way. We want to bring the chin in and lengthen through the back of the neck. Okay, and so if you've been doing these corrections with me, you might already be feeling some deep core postural muscles firing up. And this is great. If you can really treat this like a workout and to try to take some time every day to hold this posture, to breathe into it. And then when you feel the muscles getting fatigued, you can let yourself relax back into the sway back posture. But over time, as you keep coming back into this optimal alignment and you practice the exercises we're about to do in the workout, over time it will be easier to maintain this optimal alignment. Okay, and then the second faulty posture that I want to show is the lordotic kyphotic posture. And in this posture, the upper body is the same. We need to correct it by opening the collarbones, lengthening through the ribs, and bringing the chin in. But with the pelvis, it's tipped forward in the lordotic posture. And again, the lower back is compressed and the abdominals aren't working. And so we correct it by lengthening the tailbone down and drawing the belly in very similarly so that we're lined up straight. Okay, and so let's go against a wall if you can find just a little bit of wall space for you so that we can see even more clearly and feel it in our body how our posture is. And so if you can, have your heels quite close to the wall and then just line your body up as naturally as you can against the wall so you can see where you're at. Now, when you're standing here, the first thing that you might feel is that there is a natural space in the lower back. And we're meant to have that lumbar curve there. But if we have the lordotic posture, we might have too much space there. Or if we have the sway back posture, our hips might be used to being forward. Okay, so we do want to, when we have the pelvis back against the wall, we do want to have that space in the lower back, but we might need to make it a little bit smaller by drawing the abdominals in and the tailbone down. Okay, ideally the bottom ribs are also against the wall and commonly they're forward. Okay, so we need to use our upper abdominals to bring the bottom ribs against the wall, and we want to have the whole rib cage, the upper back against the wall as well. Okay, and then I just want you to feel with the head and the neck. It's really common for us to have some degree of forward head posture, and I want you to correct this very gently, okay, because the muscles through the neck are quite sensitive. And so I want you to bring your chin back so that your head comes into alignment and it might not be against the wall completely. In an ideal posture, it is, but I don't want you to force that to happen because it can be too much too soon and just strain these muscles here. So just bringing your chin in and lengthening through the back and the sides of the neck as best you can, and just seeing how that feels. And over time, your head might be coming against the wall. Okay, so ideally the head, the ribs, and the pelvis are touching the wall. The lower back and the neck are away from the wall. Just getting a sense of those deep postural muscles working there. And then coming away from the wall and seeing if you can maintain it and just see how that feels. Okay, and again, taking some time to practice that throughout the day, feeling these deep internal muscles working to keep you long and strong and being able to breathe and relax into it. Okay, and so now let's get back into the workout so that we can maintain this fantastic posture. All right, so in this first section, we're going to focus on the pelvis and the low back because when these areas are out of alignment, there is a huge effect on everything above and below. And I want to use the plank as our main exercise because when we're planking, it very quickly becomes clear just how much we need to use our abdominal muscles to take the strain out of the low back. And we can apply this back into standing and moving throughout our day. Our low back is not meant to do all the work of holding us up. There needs to be a shared effort between the back, the sides, and the front of the body. And while the plank is more difficult than standing, we can take all of this strength that we learn in the plank exercise and we can use it throughout our day to have more power and more stability and learn how to move with less strain in our lower back. Okay, so how I'm going to be teaching the abdominal connection is by dividing the abdominals up into 3 sections. And I'll get you to practice this with me. So if you can come into sitting, into any comfortable position on the floor, if you can have a mat below you. And we're going to start off with the upper abdominals. And I'll get you to bring your hands onto the bottom ribs. Okay, so how I want us to think about engaging the upper abdominals is by drawing the bottom ribs down and slightly in, and like we're narrowing the bottom ribs. And this is best done on an exhale. So if you can do this with me, we're going to take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, narrowing the bottom ribs down and together and just slightly in towards the body. And you should feel those upper abdominals firing. Okay, so now for the middle abdominals, I'll get you to bring your hands onto your navel, and we're going to think of drawing the navel back towards the spine. Okay, so we're not going to round the spine, we're not going to move the body, we're just going to engage the abdominals by drawing the navel back towards the spine. And again, this is best done on an exhale. So if you can take a deep breath in with me, and as you breathe out, draw your navel back towards your spine, keeping the spine still. Okay, then for the lower abdominals, if you can bring your hands down below the navel, and I want you to think of engaging the low abdominals by drawing the muscles from the pubic bone to the belly button in and up. Okay, so again, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, drawing the low abdominals in and up. Okay, and then we'll try and put that all together. And so we'll take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you're narrowing your ribs down and together. You're drawing your navel towards your spine and drawing the low belly in and up. So we're engaging the whole abdominal wall. And again, breathe in. You can let that all relax. And breathing out, narrowing the bottom ribs down and in, navel to spine, and low belly in and up. Now, I want you to try to hold this engagement throughout the rest of this section so that when we're breathing in, instead of letting the muscles go, we're going to breathe more into the back of the body, like we're widening across the back of the ribs in the low back. And as we breathe out, we reinforce our core connection, bottom ribs, navel, and low belly. Okay, so we'll maintain this. We're going to come into all fours to start. And so if you like, you can have a towel or some padding underneath your knees. You want to have your hands right below your shoulders and your knees right below your hips. Okay, we're going to have the shoulders pulled down away from the ears and try to keep the elbows from hyperextending. So we're going to slightly micro bend the elbows, and both of those actions, pulling the shoulders down and micro bending the elbows, should help you feel the muscles on the sides of the ribs, the lats, engage. And that's great. Okay, lengthen out through the crown of the head, keeping the eyes to the floor. And we'll breathe in widely into the back. And as you breathe out, engaging your bottom ribs together and down, your navel towards your spine, and the low belly in and up. Okay, keeping everything steady. And again, breathing in widely to the back and breathing out. Upper abdominals, middle, and lower, all firing. And we're going to keep that, breathing in to prepare. And as we breathe out, we're sliding opposite arm and leg off the floor, maintaining our core connection, maintaining our balance so we're like a table. And then inhaling to slide back in. And we'll go side to side. So exhaling, upper, middle, and lower abdominals firing as we slide opposite arm and leg off, keeping our shoulders, our hips steady, and inhaling to slide back in. And keep going. Exhaling, upper, middle, and low belly firing. Okay, we're not letting our body sway or tip or sag. We're keeping our core connection and inhaling back in. Exhaling, engaging our core and keeping our shoulders down. And inhaling to slide back in. And we'll do one more to each side. Breathing out, feeling upper abdominals, navel to spine, low belly drawing in. And inhaling to lower. And last one, maintaining everything steady. And inhaling to lower. Okay, and then we'll make our way out into a full plank. And so just keeping your hands where they are, keeping the shoulders down and our elbows in the micro bend. We're going to breathe in to prepare, and then exhaling as you fire upper, middle, and low belly and extend one leg out to plank and then the other. And there should be no shifting in the body. And then inhaling as you land the knees back in one at a time gently. And again, exhaling, extending out. One leg and the other, keeping the bottom ribs in, navel in, low belly in, inhaling, return back in. And we'll do two more. Exhaling, bottom ribs are drawn in, navel is towards the spine, low belly drawn in and up, breathing into return. So feeling no shift in the back. And last one, exhaling as you extend out. Okay, holding that steady, nothing is shifting. And then inhaling to return. Okay, and then just push back onto your knees. Okay, so now we're going to go more into the full planks and we'll take the pressure off of the wrist by going onto your forearms. Okay, we're going to have the hands interlaced. You want to tuck your bottom pinky out of the way, cross your thumbs, and we're going to have the elbows just a little bit narrower than shoulder width apart, just a bit. Okay, so coming on down onto your forearms. Again, we're going to pull the shoulder blades down, so we're engaging our lats, and then extend one leg out and then the other. And then once we're here, just gently land your knees and we'll get set up. Okay, so here the full plank is a little bit harder than all fours. So we want to keep that connection through the upper, middle, and lower abdominals and not letting anything sink. If you do feel any discomfort in your lower back, it's probably because you've let one of the areas in your abdominals sink, okay? And so we're going to breathe in to prepare. And exhaling, drawing the ribs in, the navel in, the low belly in, and we exhale to lift the knees, holding everything steady, and inhaling to gently land the knees. Okay, and then just continue like that. Exhaling, drawing the upper abdominals in, middle, and lower, holding that steady, and breathing in to return. And just continue. If you need to make this a little bit easier, you can exhale and extend just one knee out at a time and breathing in to lower and then alternate knees. Okay, or if you can, we're exhaling as we're lifting both knees up. Okay, not letting anything sink, keeping the bottom ribs drawn in, the navel in, the low belly in. Breathing in to gently land for one more. Exhaling as your full core is engaging. And breathing in to gently land the knees and push back. Okay, great. And then finally, we're going to finish by coming out into the plank and we're going to try to hold it for about 5 breaths. And so again, feel free to do this kneeling if you need to take a little break. When you're holding the position, if you can try to imagine your full posture like you're standing and just really keeping that core connection. And as I say, if you do feel any discomfort in your low back, it's very likely because you've let one part of the core go. Okay, so just really reinforcing that. Okay, so let's come back into our interlaced position. Have your elbows a little narrower than shoulder width apart. Draw your shoulders down. Engage the 3 layers of your core. And then extending one leg out and then the other and holding here. Breathing widely into the back of the body and exhaling, drawing in the front body. Okay, breathing in widely into the back and exhaling, feeling your bottom ribs narrow, navel towards the spine, low belly drawn in. If you can, holding here for a few more breaths, reaching out through the crown of the head, keeping the eyes to the floor, lengthening the tailbone towards the heels. One more breath, just imagining yourself standing tall with your core connected, and then gently land the knees. Okay, we're going to come into a child's pose just to stretch out the back. And so let your knees come wide apart, sit back onto your heels, let your arms relax wherever you like, and then just taking time to breathe here. Just in case we happen to let any tension slip into the lower back, we can address that now. So breathing widely into the back and breathing out, relaxing the shoulders, the chest, and the hips. And just staying here for as long as you like. Excellent. Okay, so this next section is all about lengthening through the mid and upper back and opening up across the chest because these days, forward shoulder posture or overly kyphotic posture, as it's often called, is extremely common. And if we let this postural issue go unaddressed over time, it can really lead to loss of strength, mobility, reduced quality of life, especially as we age. And as you can see, it's also contributing to forward head posture. Okay, so let's open up. I'm going to be talking about this part of the body in two different components. Okay, one is through the thoracic spine and the rib cage itself. I want us to think of lengthening that up, and we're actually going to be trying to extend this part of the spine to strengthen it. And it's really common to overcompensate and to hyperextend through the neck or through the lower back instead. Okay, so we really need to stabilize the lower back and the neck, and we try to isolate extending through your thoracic spine, which is very limited. Okay, it's going to be a really small movement. Okay, and then the second component are the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Okay, so I want us to think of widening across the collarbones and then of squeezing the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together and down, again, to really strengthen those muscles in the middle back. Okay, and so we're going to be doing all of these exercises while lying down on our stomach. So I'll get you to come down to lying. And once you're down, you can start off with your head turned to the side or your forehead to the floor or on a small towel. I'm going to have my head a little bit up just so that you can hear me a little bit better, but you can have your head down. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is to stabilize our lower back and our neck. Okay, so I want you to lift the navel up away from the floor like we did in the first section. Draw the low abdominals in and up. And we're going to exaggerate this a little bit by creating a slight tilt. Okay, we're going to have the pubic bone towards the floor and the tailbone lengthening away. Okay, so that we're really not pinching through the low back. We're keeping our core engaged. Okay, and then I want you to keep your eyes to the floor. So think of reaching out through the crown of your head as opposed to looking out with your eyes. Okay, now from here, starting off down, we're going to start off, let's have the palms facing the body. We're going to start off with the shoulders. As we breathe in, we're lifting our shoulders and arms away from the floor, and it's like we're squeezing an imaginary beach ball. I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together and down. Then we'll inhale as you lift the chest just slightly off the floor. Again, we're keeping the eyes to the floor and we're keeping the navel in. So this is a really small lift. And then we'll exhale to lower. Okay, and then that's our move. Okay, inhaling as we lift the shoulders and arms. Keep inhaling as you lift the chest just slightly. And exhaling as everything lowers down. And we'll just do a few more. Inhaling, shoulders lift, so we're widening the collarbones, we're squeezing the shoulder blades together and down. We lift the back just slightly, keep that really small, and exhaling to lower. And we'll do two more. Inhaling, lifting the shoulders and arms, squeezing your beach ball, lifting the chest, keeping it small, make sure the navel stay pulled in, and exhaling to lower. And last one, lifting the shoulders, squeezing your beach ball, lifting the chest, and we're going to hold here. Okay, and once we're staying here, we're just going to do little beach ball squeezes. Okay, so we're pressing in with the arms, in and in and in and in. And just continue and breathing slowly as you're doing this, feeling your collarbones widen, your shoulder blades squeeze together and down. Okay, the upper back is really small. Okay, we don't want to lift it too high and pinch the lower back. We keep it small, we keep the navel in. Okay, and last one, hold it and relax. Okay, just let your legs shake in and out to take any tension away from the low back. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the arms out to the side, and the arms can be straight or they can be bent. And I think bent is a little bit more challenging, but I'm going to show that because I think it's just a little bit easier to see. But you could do either straight or bent. Okay, again, draw the navel up away from the floor, press the pubic bone down to the floor, draw your shoulders down away from your ears, and then we're doing exactly the same thing. As we inhale, we're lifting the arms away from the floor. Then we're lifting the chest really small. We're keeping the eyes to the floor and exhaling to lower. And we'll continue. Inhaling, lifting the arms and the shoulders. Then lifting the chest, keeping it small, keeping the navel in. And exhaling to lower. And again, inhaling, lifting arms. Then the chest. And exhaling lower. And we'll do 2 more. Feeling the collarbones widen. And then the upper back lift. Exhaling, lowering. And last one. Inhaling, lifting arms. And then the chest. And we're going to hold it here. And again, we're going to do little pauses with the arms. Up and up and up. And then just continue. Okay, you want to have your shoulders down. Okay, we're squeezing the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together and down. Okay, the navel is staying pulled in. Our lift of our upper back is really small. For last 3, 2, and hold. And relax. Good, and then if you can once more, come back to sitting into a child's pose. Let your knees come wide apart. Sit back towards your heels. Let your hands rest wherever you like. Just taking some deep breaths here. And again, staying here as long as you need, just in case any tension crept into your lower back. We can address that now. Fantastic. All right, so the final aspect of our posture that I'd like us to investigate is the alignment of our head and neck. Forward head posture is extremely common, even when the rest of our spine is well aligned, and this can be due to working on the computer or our cell phones, or even just the fact that our eyes are in the front of our body. Okay, and so the general correction that you want to make for forward head posture is to bring the chin in and to think of growing tall through the back of the ears. But when you're making any corrections through the head and the neck, I want you to make them very small and very gentle, because as I said at the beginning of this how-to, the neck is very sensitive to being overstretched, and it can get sore if we make changes too quickly. Okay, so just very slow and gentle and with mindfulness. Okay, so this whole workout that we're going to do is lying down onto the floor. And so if you do have some degree of forward head posture, if you suspect that, I'd like you to have a pillow underneath your head. And we're all going to use a small hand towel. This is just a hand towel from the bathroom. If you can fold it in half, and then once you have that, if you can take it and roll it up, okay, making a little roll that can go into the back of the neck. Okay, so I'll get you to put that down. And if you can come to lying down, we're going to have the knees bent. And as I say, have a pillow underneath your head if you suspect that you have forward head posture. And then we're putting this roll right into the center of the neck, so it's at the place with the most arch. Okay, we're meant to have an arch through the neck, but when we have forward head, it's too much. Okay, and so as I say, we're going to try to bring the chin in and grow tall through the backs of the ears. And on an exhale, we're going to gently press into the towel, just very gently. Okay, so we inhale to relax, okay, making sure we're relaxed through the hips and through the shoulders. And then as you exhale, bring the chin down and grow tall through the backs of the ears, just gently pressing the neck towards the towel and breathing in to release. And we'll just do 2 more. Okay, exhaling, bringing the chin down, growing tall through the backs of the ears, very gentle. You don't need to press hard into the towel at all. And breathing in to release. And one more time, bringing your chin in, and growing tall through the backs of the ears. Okay, keeping the hips relaxed, keeping the rest of the body relaxed. And breathing in to release. Okay, and then taking it further, we're going to take our towel and snuggle it up right to the base of the skull. And we're going to use this adjustment as we come into some more abdominal work. Okay, we get to have more of an abdominal workout here. Okay, so we're bringing the chin in, we're growing tall through the backs of the ears, and on an exhale, we're going to peel the head, neck, and shoulders up off of the mat, and then breathing in as we lengthen back down. Okay, so I don't want you to be lifting the head straight up. I don't want you to be pushing the head forward. Okay, we're going to try to keep the length of the neck. Keep some space between your chin and your chest like you have a little apple there. And using the towel to support the head, we exhale as we tilt the chin in, grow tall through the backs of the ears, look down your nose, and roll the head, neck, and shoulders off, and inhaling back down. Okay, and just pausing here for a moment. What is allowing us to come up is our upper abdominals. Okay, so if you can again think of the bottom ribs narrowing together and down, and that's going to support the head coming up, and the head is not lifting by itself. Okay, so we're going to do two more like that. They have the elbows a little bit lifted, tilt the chin in, grow tall through the backs of the ears, and on an exhale, engage those upper abdominals. Narrow your ribs together and down. And inhaling as you peel back down. And one more time. Exhaling, nodding your chin in, using your upper abdominals to peel you up. Okay, keeping your head heavy into the towel, not pushing your head forward and not lifting your head up. Okay, and then lengthening back down. Okay, and so then just continue to work with the towel if that feels good for you. If you know that your neck is getting sore from this, you could do the rest of this, keeping your head down and just working the chin in and lengthening the back of the neck. And another option is you could interlace your hands together right at the base of the skull with the elbows just a little bit lifted. Okay, so any of those options are good. Okay. So adding on, we're going to lengthen the back of the neck, tilt the chin in, and then as you breathe out, our upper abdominals are imprinting down. Okay, and staying here, we're going to engage our whole abdominal wall. So as you breathe out, press the bottom ribs down, draw the navel towards the spine, and draw the low belly in so that the lower back space is going to reduce. Okay, we don't have to press our back down all the way, but it's going to be reduced. Staying here, keep your head heavy in your hands, and exhaling as you extend one leg out, and inhaling to return. Another side, extending out, and breathing in to return. And then just continue breathing out, engaging upper, middle, and lower abdominals. Breathing in, keeping the back of the neck long, the chin in, and letting the head be heavy into your hands. And one more to each side. Really working the breath to engage the core. Okay, keeping the head and neck easy. And then come back down and just let your head roll gently from side to side. And then we'll do just one more option if you want to take it further. Again, you can keep your head down, you can use the towel, or you can have your hands interlaced. Growing tall through the backs of the ears, bringing your chin in. Exhaling, engaging your whole abdominal wall, upper, middle, and lower abdominals. I want you to draw them in even more. So now the lower back is going to come closer towards the floor. If it can fully touch, that's great. But if it can be as close as possible to protect the back, that's great. We're going to bring one leg up. And as you breathe out, engage your abdominals even more. Bring the other leg up to join it. Breathing into whole and exhaling as you extend one leg out. Breathing in to return. And exhaling, extending the other leg out. And then just continue. Okay, using your exhale nice and strong through upper, middle and lower abdominals. Okay, keeping the back stable so we're not letting it shift. Okay, and keeping the head heavy in your hands. Okay, I'm turning my head to see you. Try to keep your head still with the chin in and the back of the neck long. Let's just do one more to each side. And then lowering back down. Again, just letting the head roll side to side. And then just taking your time here. Feel free to do any stretching through your lower back. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can bring yourself up to sitting. And so you can apply this positioning through the head and the neck whenever you're doing any abdominal work so that you can really isolate the core and protect your lower back and not put any undue strain through your head and your neck and really work to improve that forward head posture. Okay, so excellent work. Okay, so I'd like to put everything that we've learned here together into one exercise so that we can really see and feel how we can maintain our best posture throughout our day. And so we're going to do a balance because when everything is really aligned, balancing is much easier. Okay, so I'll get you to come to standing with your feet hip distance apart and we'll just connect into our body. Okay, you want to bring your hips right on top of the center of your ankle. And that might mean that you need to unlock your knees. If you have a tendency to push your knees back into hyperextension, we just need to unlock them. We want to lengthen the tailbone down between the heels, lift the low belly in and up, draw the navel towards the spine. Feel your ribs right on top of your hips, feeling your bottom ribs draw together and down. And we want the collarbones to just gently widen, the shoulder blades to go down the back, and we want to feel the chin is in with the back of the ears long. So the ears are stacked up right onto the center of the shoulders, and then just letting our arms relax down. You can imagine that you have a string on the crown of your head. The crown of our head is just a little bit towards the back of the head, growing tall, and that the body is hanging down from that string. Okay, so we'll begin. As you breathe in, bend the knees as we come into a squat, just making sure that your knees stay behind your toes, they stay in the center of your feet, we're not rolling them in and out. The low belly is already drawing in to protect our back. And then exhaling as you press your arms down and back and rise up onto your toes. Okay, we want to keep our weight onto our big toes, not letting it roll out. So you can think of squeezing your ankles in. And again, breathing in as we bend the knees, the low belly is already drawing in. And then exhaling, feeling everything stack up as you rise up on top of your toes. And we'll do two more. Breathing in, keeping the low belly drawn in. And then exhaling, growing tall through the backs of the ears, keeping your chin in, keeping your navel in. And we'll do one more. Breathing in as you bend the knees, low belly is already drawing in. And exhaling, the bottom ribs are drawing down, the tailbone is drawing down, the low belly lifting up. And then just gently lower. Wonderful. So thank you for working out with me. I hope that you learned a lot about how to help your body feel and move its best. And if you did find this how-to useful, I invite you to give it a like, to subscribe to my channel, and to share it with those whom you think might benefit. Now in the description, you'll see a link to the Fully Embodied Fitness Workout Series, which is a series of workouts that I've designed to improve and increase strength, especially core strength, flexibility, balance, posture, coordination, and overall body connection. So if feeling more fully embodied sounds interesting to you, I invite you to check that out. Until the next time, as always, I'm wishing you well. Take good care.